Hey guys, welcome back to part number 7 and the last part of my Meng F-18E build. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. I've been lucky. Before I built this, I built the Tamiya F-14 and I got straight into this one and two fantastic kits. So yeah, unfortunately a little bit sad it's coming to an end. So we're basically going to spend the first half of the video, 2/3 of the video, going through the final touches, getting the gear ready, all the little things at the end, and then we'll do a final reveal. So that's it. Can't believe it's over already, but hopefully you enjoyed this one. Let's go ahead. Last time in this build series, let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're almost done. So we got, as you know, the previous parts been working pretty extensively on the main fuselage and got that all kind of ready to go. So now we've just got the last few parts like the gear and the final little bits and bobs to get this thing finished. So next up, we're going to do landing gear. So I pretty much built that already, put the instructions, went together really well. One thing to note is the light on the nose wheel right here, H5. The clear part, but nice, as most of the kit comes in a mask, with the mask set for it. So what I did was, the back of the glass, I just painted in silver using chrome, using my Molotov pen, my chrome pen. This works really good for like mirrors and that kind of stuff. It also works good behind glass because that little bit of reflection and some depth. So I painted the back of the clear part with that, but I masked the front, and then I stuck it on to the actual main part, which I'm not sure you can see, but so you can see the mask and silver behind it. So that being said, the reason I did that was because I'm going to spray the whole thing, prime it, paint it. So once I paint over this, you're not going to see it, but the silver's underneath it. So once you pull that mask away at the very end, it's going to have a little bit of reflective metallic kind of behind it. Whereas, obviously that silver we see right now is going to be covered with a primer and paint. So just a little tip I did there. The main gear, what I went and did, I don't know if it's going to burn me or not when we get there, but I did add the two little kind of support arms. I added those and glued them on because the fit was pretty positive and the angle to go at stuff, and I think it's going to be easier just to glue them now and paint them as one, hopefully, and then just stick it on into the main aircraft. So that's my fingers crossed that's going to work. Wheels, put together wheels too. Two parts for the mains. Those wheels are just one part wheels. No problems at all. We do have a mask set for the wheels also. I don't normally use masks. I normally just spray the whole thing. I normally spray the whole thing rubber black and then put over a circle template and then just spray in the centers white. But this time, as we have the mask, someone's will use them. So I will prime them all up and I'll paint the inners white, mask it, and then paint the tires a rubber black. But yeah, that's kind of quick MO on where we're at with the gear. Like I say, basically beautifully, nicely detailed. So let me go ahead and get all the stuff primed and painted, and we'll come right back. Right, so see, I put the wheels on. The masks work great, as with the other parts of the aircraft. And yeah, looking good. I put little decals on. Not that you can probably see them. Maybe on this one you can see a little better. And painted the here and there, painted a little bit of silver. I used the Model Air aluminum, which I always use this guy for hand painting. I know it's an airbrush paint, but it works so good hand painting for little tiny bits and bobs. So I painted all the relevant parts silver or aluminum, as the case may be. And yeah, we're pretty much done with those. So I mean, what I've left to do is add a quick little wash. So followers on my channel will know that when it comes to white, like cockpit and landing gear, I'm really into the Citadel washes right now, which is acrylic water-based, no oil. This is black. Agraff Earthshade is a brown. But yeah, really good. So you don't need much of this at all. I'm just going to add a little bit here to a plastic tray. Then Lafayette Medium. These Citadel have such weird names. This is basically a thinner, so make this thing a little thinner. I'm just getting a couple of drops of this guy. I should actually add that first because now my paintbrush is on it. I'll have to use a different paintbrush. So let me use this. Just thin it out a little bit. Rookie mistake. I should have done a clear first and then with the other one. But anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to take my brush. I should go a bigger brush right here. And I'm just going to wipe this on.
wheels. Wheels. And this is going to get really kind of nice little bit of weathering, subtle weathering to this guy. Just kind of, because these things aren't going to be bright white, so. And just all over. And there you go. That is easy as that. So I'm just going to let this guy dry, this wash dry, and then once it's dry, I'm going to come back and give it a quick clear coat, matte clear coat, and then we can stick them on the aircraft, and these guys are done. Okay, so we're almost there. Painted the antennas to go on. Pilot figures painted pretty crudely. Actually, looks pretty good. I just got to paint the black visor. So what I'm going to do is he's still a little bit wet. I'm going to clear coat him matte. I think that's one thing with figures. If people paint figures, I think, you just got to be matte. Like, some people have really glossy paint, doesn't look right. So I'm going to matte coat him. But then once he's matte coated, I'll come with some gloss black and paint the visor so it's still going to be glossy afterwards. But overall, pretty good. I mean, I'm sure you can see that. It's a pretty good, not bad figure. I mean, spoiler alert, you get 2 of these in the pack. And 2 seats in the pack, so obviously they're all geared up for the F and the G version which is coming out. Painted nozzles. I'm sure you can really see inside there. There's photo etchers in there, you can't really see a thing. So what I did in the end was I painted with Dura Aluminium, an AK Extreme color, which is like a goldy kind of silver, and then I guess you could use titanium silver too, and then and then what I did then, I came in with jet exhaust and kind of misted it over to darken it up, which kind of gave me the kind of look I was looking for. Yeah, so those 2, they're ready to just go ahead in the back and be glued in. And last but not least, we kind of move some of the stuff out of the way so I don't break it all. The gear is glued on and all the doors too. Just follow the instructions, no problem at all. Also using CA glue at this point. It's a super glue for anything I glue on. I'll put the rest of the hook on too. The only thing to note, which I kind of struggled with instructions, is a couple of pieces. If I can turn it over without dropping it. If you can see that piece right here, and this piece on the other side, they go flat. They glue down flat. It took me a while to figure out on instructions. The rest of them obviously stick up. I'm not sure how well these fit if you want to get doors up, so wheels up and doors closed. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I didn't test fit it, so I'm not sure how well that would go together if you want to do it in flight. But yeah, just don't know. But also glue the flaps on, obviously, and the wingtips. Wingtips are usually little PVA glues, they can be pulled off. Flaps are super glued too. Carefully kind of flip her over, you kind of see how we're kind of looking now. And we're looking good. The seat's in already. I just need to put the pilot figure in. Hopefully it fits. And yeah, we're almost there. I mean, so at this point, I'm just going to put nozzles in. This is going to be glued back here. Should be no problem at all. Actually, you don't even need to be glued. Just clip. Oh, this one's not going. There we go. Click fit. Can't beat that. So these are click fit tails. These guys are obviously on poly caps. They don't need to be glued or anything. So I mean, this goes together so well. So I mean, we're looking like a Hornet now. This morning when it came down, this looked pretty beaten up now. Got other pieces on it, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe I've gone a little bit too much with the weathering, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm pretty much done. I mean, I add a little bit of black wash just to the nozzles back here, just kind of make them pop a little bit. Get the ordnance on, and then we'll do a final reveal. So I'm gonna wrap this up in terms of the building. I'll come back in a couple of seconds when we're finished, and you can see all the antennas and the pedos are on and stuff, and we'll do a final reveal and wrap this guy up. We're done.
really enjoyed this one. I've been spoiled because the last one I did was the F-14 Tamiya kit, and I went to this kit. 2 great fighter jets, and really thoroughly enjoyed the project. I loved the weather, and I really kind of went to town with this one. Maybe too much so, but it's kind of how I like it. I don't like kind of shiny die-cast looking aircraft. I like to weather them up, make them look very natural and beaten up and that kind of thing. That's just what I like to do and what I enjoy in this hobby. So that's how I did this one. Yeah, really great kit. I mean, so elephant in the room, panel lines. I don't know, I'll let you guys decide. You look at the pictures at the end, you look at it and tell me what you think. I think once the paint and primer on, I don't look at it and think, wow, look at those panel lines. It just kind of blends in. Shape, I think it's okay. I'm not an expert. I'll let you guys, again, take a look at the pictures and let me know what you think, if it's good shape or not. But other than that, a great kit. Definitely better than the Hasegawa kit in terms of value. Same price pretty much, if not a little bit cheaper. But you get what? You get the mast set, you get the pilot figure, you get all the weapons, which are interchangeable. Some of them slide molded. You can drop the flaps, you can wing fold, different types of nozzles. Yeah, what's not to love? I mean, great. I think this is a good kit for a beginner or an advanced modeler. There's not too many like little tiny delicate parts. It goes together pretty solidly. If you are a beginner, just follow my build trail. Just make sure you kind of build them sub-assemblies. So do the fuselage and then the flaps and the wings and like gear and stuff. Do separately now at the very end. Otherwise, you're just going to keep knocking it off and it'd be very frustrating and be tricky to paint and stuff as well. So just kind of break it up in subsections if you're a beginner and you have no problems at all. The instructions are easy to follow. One thing to notice that though, the decals for the weapons are a little bit kind of messed up. That they're kind of like, I think that's kind of like Friday afternoon kind of job. You've only got decals for 2 of the pylons, not 4. You get 4, which obviously on here, and some weapons aren't even have call outs for, and the fuel tanks aren't even called out either. But just heads up, just when you get to that part, I mentioned it in my weapons part. I think it was part 6. There were some issues with that, but that's minor. Other than that, the actual aircraft itself went beautifully. The decals are cartograph. I'm not going to canopy off; it's just loose. Take it off. So the decals are cartographs. They went down beautifully, no problem at all. They were very thin, so they did fold over on themselves a couple of times. So just be calm and put it back on the paper and unfold it, and then they went back on, no problem at all. Yeah, I'm a lacquer painter now, pretty much converted, but I didn't have any light ghost grays. I had to use mission models, an old jar or old plastic container. I had of mission models light ghost gray. It went down nice and smoothly, but usual acrylic issues of splattering and stuff like that. The top half with the MRP dark ghost gray was much more pleasurable to kind of spray and stuff, to be honest with you. But anyway, we got through it. I think it looks really good. I'm kind of happy how it looked. This is kind of what I intended when I very first started. If my vision in my mind it kind of ended, which is what you asked for, I guess. But yeah, it's a really nice kit. Probably enjoyed it, and yeah. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some pictures up on the. I took outside just before this. I recorded this in the sun, in the daylight, so you'll be able to see better kind of how it looks. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you for all the support. Thank you for following along, and I hope to see you next time. So next week we're straight back at it, and we start that beautiful Tamiya F-14 kit. So until next week, have a good one. Bye.
Oh.